Hey there, Wargamers Restaurant Painting today. Man, what are these Canopus models doing here? Let's just, boom, we're going to check out some Davion. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new here, please alpha strike that like and subscribe button. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for tuning in to help continue to support what I do. That said, today we're going to be checking out the House Davion Cavalry Lance, a real faction as opposed to these here Magistry of Canopus minis. No one cares about them. I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about their lore. I just wanted to say something trolly because someone in the comments is going to be like, how dare you make fun of my faction? That's it. We're going to check out these Davion minis today. So I want to get this video up sooner than now, but have not had time. I've been very busy. I can tell you at first glance, I'm really excited about the Legionnaire and the Hellspawn. Two models I think look really, really cool. As a former MechWarrior Dark Age player, really like that, and as someone who played MechWarrior Online, that's one of my favorite little tiny annoying mechs to play with. So I forget what the MSRP was on this one. I think it was $35. You know, your mileage may vary. I think I got this one off Amazon. I pre-ordered as soon as it went up to try and get it quickly, but I normally get these through Fortress, but this time I had ordered it through Amazon, and all the same, the ones through Bobby sold out pretty quickly anyway. So let's go ahead and zoom in here, and we'll get this box opened. As usual, we'll get things started. We'll give you a quick glance at the box itself, let you see all of the sides and the goodies and see what we're getting into. And now let's go ahead and pop the seal, check out what we've got. Swoop. And let's see, we had a 50-50 shot of getting the cards, and we did. Bam, hit the cards, and we'll slide this out. So just like the previous Davion Force Box, just the Davion symbol back there. And if you guys have been following my channel long enough, you know that I usually talk about this being like a card insert you can save as like a print. This one, don't care that much about, is a Davion symbol. It is cool. It's consistent with the packaging, but it's not some cool like mech artwork. It's just the emblem, which is cool in and of itself. But some of those mech artwork backgrounds are so cool, they would be great prints to like frame or put somewhere. This one's whatever. You could cut it out. You could do that with those other ones too, but I don't think that's a big of a deal. That said, if that was an insert back there, like a postcard size thing that you could pull out, and it's got the Davion symbol on this side and then flip it, right? You could totally read or have some faction abilities or perks that come from the Davion Force Manual as a preview for how you might run these guys, and I'd encourage you to buy the Force Manual. That wouldn't cost so much more, and would be a good way to cross-pollinate products. So CGL, probably not listening since I don't think they like me anymore, but if you are, that is a recommendation that would probably be really good, especially as your Force Manuals continue to move forward or continue to release, and I know you've got the Mercenaries one coming out in the near future as well. Also, as you guys just saw here, Death Ray Designs makes decals, so if you want to support the channel, you know what to do. Get in the description down below. There'll be a link to DRD. You guys can pick up some products there if you want to. That said, let's go ahead and get these mechs out of the tray here, and then we'll get the cards sorted. So as we always do in every one of these videos, I will showcase the unit cards, and I'll showcase the pilot cards, giving a brief pause in between so that you guys have an opportunity to actually see the pilot cards and whatnot. So we'll get that handled for you. These are also in a weird order too. I'll get that handled or put up there for you guys to check out. I will also give my thoughts on the unit cards fresh out of the box, because some new players may be buying these and using just these cards to start. And I'm well aware that the Master Unit List is a thing. I'm aware that they're going to be updating it soon. I saw those posts from Adepticon, so anything I say here is subject to change, and these cards are likely subject to change. So you know, take this with a grain of salt, and if you don't care about this, you just want to see the minis, well, you know, fast forward a little bit. So that said, I'm probably going to do these in a slightly different order, and we'll start with the Enforcer because this is a duplicate that's in this box. So, are you looking for premium dice at an affordable price? Check out Baron of Dice, the perfect choice for classic Battletech and Alpha Strike alike. Precision crafted, beautifully designed, and ready for your next tabletop battle. Plus, you can save 5% on my coupon code ARMEDPAINTER at checkout. Roll with confidence and upgrade your game with Baron of Dice today. First up, we've got the Enforcer 5D coming in at 27 points, usable in the Clan Evasion through the Ill Clan era. Size 2, Team M2, 10J, 222 for damage. Coming with 7 life, case, and flak. Not terrible for 27 points. I like the movement. I like the TMM. I mean, this is a medium for the inner sphere. Team M2 plus jump gives a Team M3. Not too bad. Damage value is a little low, but not bad for what it is. A good little harasser for inner sphere. In particular, I'm a big fan of their mediums. I like beefier mediums a little bit better, but the point total is not going to break the bank. you can leverage Team M2 plus the jump for 3 for this guy, and consistent annoying dice rolls of damage. It's not going to do a lot, but you can't ignore it, right? So I like this style for Inner Sphere. I'm a big fan of mediums and heavies for the clanners. Not as big a fan of the heavies for Inner Sphere because they usually come with a TMM of 1, whereas the clan heavies usually have TMM 2 and a 10 movement. So I favor the heavies for the clans, like the mediums for the Inner Sphere, especially those beefy mediums with a good TMM. Just really annoying pawns to put on the table. So keep that in mind when you're checking out what's good for you. That's it. Let's flip this over. Check out the other variant. This is the 5R coming in at 3 points cheaper. See, I was just saying, TMM of 1. This one is only usable in the Dark Age and Ill Clan era. 8J, so it's losing 2 movement, and it's losing 1 TMM at 2/2/1 for damage. It's got 8 life versus 7, case 2 flak, and I think it's reflective armor. I mean, the reflective armor is nice, but you don't got to worry about mitigating damage if you don't get hit. And the other one gives up 1 life, costs 3 more, and has a higher TMM. I'll take the higher TMM move every time so that I can not actually get hit to begin with. So again, your mileage may vary. That's my thoughts. I think this is the winner on that side of the card. So we check out the card here. Mark Hall, he and I share the same last name. Interesting. Coming in at Gunnery Skill 4, 3 Pilot Skill. If you want to read that card, take a moment to pause. Let's go and flip that over. Shoop. We got Nicole Ramsey, 2 Gunnery, 3 Pilot. Shoop. Let's go ahead and grab that Enforcer Mini and check this out. So we're looking for the mold lines as we always do, and we can see a little bit coming up through here. Not terrible. That's probably not the worst thing to clean. I wish that was a little cleaner right there, just because of where it lands. The little sprue points here where they came out of the mold or got snipped are kind of annoying, but at least they're on the undersides of stuff you won't see, so that's semi-hidden. This one's a little bit more obvious because it's on the back, but looks like that's a subtractive area in terms of mold line cleanup versus an additive. This one looks like it could be slightly additive, but it's in a spot that I probably wouldn't fill it because I'm not that worried about it. You got your jump jets here in the back of the leg. The detail here is kind of warped a little bit. That's slightly annoying, and then same thing going up into the top of the leg here, which is... it's not the end of the world, but it's frustrating because the details on the side leg are nice and crisp, and his little booty plate here is crisp, his back plate's crisp, but you get some of this softness on the back here. I get why that is, but it is getting frustrating, especially as the prices on these are going to start to increase. So I know there's a variety of reasons for why, but the more expensive they get, the more they start competing with other models. So I can't help but wonder what these mechs would look like in hard plastic. I know the assembly would be annoying, but it might be pretty nice. So... but it might be a different demographic of players who would be interested in that hobby side. I would, but not everyone might. Looking at the top here, we've got the mold line going across the top of his dome, and right here on his traps, the little top of his kind of like in between his shoulders area. Probably not the worst to clean. That's not terrible. I do like the depth of the panel lines here, which will catch a wash really nice. The panels here, armor panels here, are nice hard edges, so that'll catch a dry brush really good. So not terrible. A few soft areas, but I think in general, when your focal point of the model is probably going to be the front of it, not too bad. I also really like the crispness of the canopy. It's really, I guess it's probably orientation in the molds. Some of these models just amaze me with how crisp they are, and then other areas on them I'm just like, meh. Like right here in the elbow, slight mold slippage where that line that's going at a diagonal there is slightly off. And that's like, I get it, but also like, this looks so good right in here. So anyways, there is your Enforcer. I believe we have gotten 1 or 2 of those already, so that's a duplicate mech. At least these other 3 are 3 fresh ones as far as I can remember or recall from releases. So next up, we've got the Gunsmith, the CH11-NG, coming in at 36 points. This is usable in the Dark Age and Ill Clan era. Size 1, TMM 4, movement 26, 33-0 for damage, 4 life, ENA, so energy immune to ammo explosion, and reflective armor. Okay, so REL, I forget what that is. This is reflective armor. I don't remember what REL is. I always mess that one up, so you'd have to look that up for my review of that guy. Yeah, so he's a little bit expensive compared to my baseline, which is 33 points for 333 damage and a little bit more life on that Mad Dog that I compared to. This one's coming in at almost 3 times the movement of that Mad Dog. It's coming in at double the TMM. Similar damage at the range brackets that matter. This is going to be coming up behind people to shoot them in the rear for 4 damage for that rear shot. Skirting at medium range for 3 damage when it can't get there. And with reflective armor, it's reducing energy damage down by half, and it's reducing all other damage by 1 for the most part. There's some caveats to that. You have to look up in the rulebook, but in general, that's what you're going to be dealing with. Which means skirting at medium range, at TMM 4, plus 2 for medium range, that's 6. And then on average, the stuff that you're going to be getting shot by is probably going to have skill 3 or 4, looking at 9s or 10s to hit, which is really solid. So not hating that one for the points. That TMM is absolutely brutal. Its movement is insane, and it's going to be mitigating a little bit of damage too. So I honestly really like that. The RFA really seals the deal, I think. Let's check out the other variant we've got. So this one is coming in at the same point cost, same eras, coming in with the same movement, same TMM, same damage. I can't see any difference. We got 4 life, E&E, RFA, 330, 330, 426. They're both strikers, yep. Same mech, basically. It's got a dash A, but it's basically the same. I don't know the difference on that one, to be honest with you. So maybe that makes more of a difference on these if you're using the actual mech sheets. So. All right, so for the pilots, first up we've got, coming in at Gunner Skill 3, Pilot Skill 3, we've got Indira Zibbler. Swoop, swoop. Coming in at 3-4, we've got Abraham Adaphope, if I said it right. All right, so let's go ahead and check out that mini. So at first glance, this reminds me of the Wolfen a little bit, with its shapes of the actual model, which I know what they announced we're supposed to be getting, I think, sometime next year. So that gives me some hope because I really want that for my my Clan Wolf bros. I like the canopy here. I'm getting a very like Aliens vibe from the movie Aliens. This kind of looks like an alien head to me. I like the arms here. Got some mold lines coming across the tops of the legs. It's all standard fare for what we're used to seeing them. Details get reasonably, I won't say reasonably, pretty soft around the toe. We've got areas to scrape off of the bottom of the guns. I like the jump jets back here. Those are nice. Not as big of a fan of the areas right here where that mold line comes over and you see where it was snipped to get it out of the mold, like the sprue, and same thing on this side. I wish those were like on the bottoms of the feet. So when those are glued here in here, you wouldn't see them, but they're at the top in a very visible place. Even if you clean them, it's still a pain in the butt. If they're somewhere you can't see, you don't have to worry about cleaning them. So, but yeah, that's some mold lines going on here, and a little sprue point up here. That's I don't know what that's actually supposed to look like, but it's kind of gnarly right in here. But yeah, I definitely think it's cool. There's some of these new models that come out that I'm less interested in, but this one looks pretty neat actually. So I have to check the MUL and see what factions can use this, or if I'm just going to roll it into my existing Davion collection of gray plastic. All right, so next up, let's go ahead and do the Hellspawn. I was going to say last. We'll do the Hellspawn first, mostly because this one's probably the most unique in that box that everyone's jazzed about. So we got the Hellspawn 7D coming in at 31 points, usable in the Civil War through the Ill Clan era. TMM2, 12J, loving it. 332 for damage, loving that. OV1, loving that. ECM, IF1, LRM. Don't care about the IF and LRM as much. ECM is really nice. It's going to come in clutch depending on what special rules you guys are or may or may not be using. It's coming in a smidge cheaper than my baseline. Same TMM, but he adds jump and I think 2 move over the Mad Dog, so that's good. Similar damage, losing 1 at medium or at long range, not a big deal because most of your damage is probably going to be at medium range anyway. OV1 to push it if he needs to. You can OV and then jump into cover, jump back out, and or move back out and shoot, jump away, do whatever. So this guy's got some versatility. I like that. Let's check out the other variant. Coming in at an astounding 8 points more, usable in the the Dark Age era through the Ill Clan. Team M2, 12 moves, 16J, so pretty speedy. He's got 7 life versus 5, so +2 to life. ECM, E&E, jump strong, probe, recon, tag, so he's got a lot going on. So he can jump 16 with a strong jump jets, putting him at TMM 4 at that point, which is absolutely nuts. My one qualm with that is if you're trying to leverage that for mobility and survivability, you're going to struggle to hit anything because of your skill at that point with the jumping. And if you raise or lower your skill to compensate, then this guy's going to get a little bit expensive. But he does have some really nice benefits if you're using the special rules that would allow the probe and recon to help you. So It's got some versatility. I like the TMM coupled with the strong jump jets for that TMM4 for the nuisance factor. It might be pretty good for objective scoring games where he can throw himself on there with that TMM4, but there might be some cheaper units with high TMM and jump jets that you could leverage for holding objectives versus a basically 40.1. So I think I would probably go with this one a bit more lean and not as, or actually a little bit more lean in terms of cost and more consistent damage. And you're not trying to leverage just throwing them in there to die with the TMM. Granted, he is a little bit more lacking in terms of the HP department. So I like the 7D, but if you happen to run the 10SR right out of the box, let me know how that goes for you. For our pilots here, we have got a 3 gunnery, a 3 pilot, Brian Carter. Shoop, shoop. And on the other side, we have a 4 gunnery, 5 pilot on the more expensive model here, Guillaume de Rockford. I probably butchered that. I apologize. And let's check him out. All right, so the jump jets on the back. Got the slits here. Not a lot of area to do glow, but you can totally do that. You can see this armor panel right here is reasonably sharp, and then it gets kind of mashed down here on the side, which is unfortunate. This one is not as crisp, and it's super soft. The edges are not as hard or not as sharp as that one on this one. That actually, matter of fact, the whole back of the arm is kind of similar that way. Mold line going across his booty here, which is in a really weird area, especially because they've got these what's supposed to be like rectangle armor panels with a line that goes completely over them. That's just, it's going to make it hard for you to keep your details there as you have to clean that off. Mold line coming in on the underside of the gun arm here. Not terrible. That one's not too bad. This one's also not terrible. Hopefully that's more of a subtractive versus additive. I like the shapes of the arms because they make me think of the Hellbringer / Loki. I dig that. The front side of this arm looks a little bit sharper, and then this one gets a little bit softer, which is unfortunate because I would prefer the sharp details to be on the front and the softer ones to be on the rear, which is less likely to be seen. I assume this up here is probably some form of an AMS system, at least from MWO standards. I used to rock the Hellspawn, I think, with AMS. One of the things with the MWO variant of the Hellspawn I really like is the cover that opens and closes here. That would have been a nice little extra feature like they've been doing with some of these barrels to give you options, to give you a cover that you could have modeled to where it's like flopped open, or the flap is open. I think that would have been cool. We did not get it. But at least the missiles here look like they've got crisp details, which sometimes that's soft and muddled, so that's good. Got a weird mold line coming around right here, which is a little bit unfortunate given where it is, because it gets real soft right in that area. And then when you compare the, I'm going to call this his hunch for lack of a better term, like a hunchback. You compare his left hunch here and the softness of these details in that mold line to the crispness of some of the armor panels on his right shoulder with, I assume this is like MRMs or SRMs, something like that, maybe LRMs, but I assume in NWO I'm rocking MRMs on this guy. There's reasonable sharpness to this relative to those, and the front here gets a little bit soft, so kind of disappointed on some aspects of the Hellspawn personally. I really was hoping for some better sharpness. I do like the cockpit though, that looks good. The details on the sides here look reasonable, don't look like they're too soft or muddled out, so that'll be nice. Get nice oil washes down there. That's a little shallow here on this side relative to this one, not too bad though. So yeah, the actual cockpit area looks pretty good. The missiles look reasonable. The shoulders are kind of poop. They get soft right here. The top edge of this looks reasonable, and then right here on this edge kind of softens out and is not great. Same thing right in here. This gets really soft right in here. His leg with the armor panels here get a little bit soft, and you're losing some of that. So, and over here, like super soft, like can't even really see much of that panel right on that leg. So that's a little bit unfortunate, especially because I was really excited about this model. This is where it's so wild, because like then you come over here and like it's got to be orientation in the molds or something, because then like right here this leg is so sharp and nice, and that's going to catch a dry brush so good and use the edge of your brush to like then go in and do like nice crisp highlights. It's so great. And then on the reverse side it's super soft, so like right here you get a defined flat shape here. Was it trapezoid or something? and then a defining line right here, and then one under it, right? And then you come over here, that defining line between those two shapes is basically all but gone. It's so soft through here. And then over on this leg, you can see it, right? You can get that separation. It's not quite as defined as this leg, but right in the inside, you get it. But then when you flip over to the inside of his left leg, it's completely gone. Absolutely gone. It's garbage. I really like the Hellspawn, but like this one's got some stuff on the model I'm not particularly jazzed about, especially when this is a newer production run. So yeah, let's see if the Legionnaire makes me a little bit happier. So we've got the Legionnaire 2D coming in at 39 points. This one's usable in the Jihad through the Ill Clan era. TMM3, that's astounding. Astounding for a medium. Love that. Move 14, also great. 330 for damage, 7 life. I like this. It's coming in at 6 points more than the baseline I like to run, with 40% increase to speed based on my baseline. You lose your long-range damage again. The medium is where I'm at for most things anyway, given the confines of what most Alpha Strike's being played in. Its life is looking good. This is a good variant right here. I dig that. Let's see what the opposite is. So coming in at 2 points less. Also TMM3 usable in the Dark Age through Ill Clan. 18 move, 14J, fantastic. You're giving up your short and medium range damage and trading it into long. E&E, 7 life, not bad. That 18 move and 14J is pretty good, but my gut is telling me I like this for the consistent 3 points of damage, but you can shave 2 points, give yourself a 14J with that TMM. Beefy life, E&E, and damage. I think these are dealer's choice. Pick which one you want. If I gave an edge, probably go with this one, but probably can't go wrong with that one either. 18 move is awesome. Awesome for that TMM. So yeah, give this a shot. Let me know in the comments if you play with them, which one you like. Coming up for the pilot at 4 gunnery and 5 piloting skill, we've got Dungai Rin, if I said that right. I apologize if I did not. Shroop. On the other side, 3 gunnery, 4 pilot, Gorton von Trinidad. Now let's go ahead and take a peek at the model. We've got 2 barrels here, and I assume one's like an autocannon and one's probably energy or something. No, so one's rotary, a rotary autocannon. If I can get this open, I don't want to tear it open. There we go. Okay. All right, so we have got the rotary cannon here. The front gets a little soft, but all in all, this isn't terrible. I wish it was a little bit more crisp. The 3D prints of this for CSO guys are probably a lot more crisp than that. That's not terrible. And then this is probably maybe some kind of autocannon. I'm not seeing like a little like gem down in there for it to be a laser, but I don't know. I don't actually know. Could go either way. I think most people are probably going to see that as an autocannon, and considering it's got a rotary, it's probably just an alternative. And these will socket in like so to that guy. But I think a lot, man, you know what this makes me want? First of all, this looks like Junon from Final Fantasy VII. It's like Junon City with the big cannon. You guys, you know what I'm talking about? Second of all, especially with like these right here, these little piston things, which like they have in the video game for that big city. But why would you not just run the rotary? Come on, we got a rack. Just put the rack on them. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. All right, so let's check out these details. All right, so relative to the Hellspawn, right out the gate, his details on his upper back at the very least are nice and crisp. This looks great. Even down here in the lower back, we got some good detail. Right at the bottom where it meets his hips, it gets a bit soft. I'm more lenient on my views on that because it's so far on the underside where like most people aren't picking up the model and being like, oh, let me look at his booty. They're like looking at it kind of at a top-down angle right in this area. So anything that's in this field of view, I'm much more happy with, and I'm much more critical if it looks bad. If it's this direction, I might mention it, but I'm less worried because it's unlikely to be seen. So hence why some of the mold lines on the other side don't bother me as much because you won't see them. Do I wish they weren't there? Sure. But I'm more worried about mold lines that are super visible. So let's see here. His back hip plate here looks good. There's like some weird artifacting that almost looks cracked. I don't know if you guys can see that coming through. Oh, it's very weird. Probably something to do with the mold. Mold lines that come down the arm but are super faint, so that's actually nice. And then you've got the little mold spot here, or the spruce spot here where you have to snip. So, or they had to snip them, so not bad. The shoulders look great. Back of the legs look pretty good too. I think the crispness of those shoulders is going to catch a dry brush nice. Going down the arm here, The sides of this, the profile look really good, nice and sharp. Going to get nice areas for wash to catch down those recesses, really good. Gets a little shallow right there, but not too bad. Same thing on the side of the leg here, looking pretty good. I got a little bit of a mold line right here, not terrible. Moving up the leg to the knee, not bad. Hips looking pretty good. A little shallow right there, but not too bad. But as we come back over the arm, this is where I'm noticing some problems that I think are kind of not great. So if you look at his shoulder here, right, we got a little mold line cleanup, right? And when you flip it, the front of the shoulder should look like that, just at a different angle. And this looks like it took a shot. It looks like it took a hit in the armor. It's dented, and there's a hole here. And then the mold line comes over and collapses, and the whole model's like crimpling in like this, like it's mashing in. That's unacceptable and looks terrible. And especially, again, as I just mentioned, I'm much more forgiving if those things are on the undersides of models where they're less likely to be seen. This is a front-facing detail, and it's unacceptable that that looks like he took a shot in the shoulder. Like, it's bad. And when you compare, if you juxtapose that, his left armor panels with his right armor panels, we're getting some weird muddling of details on the underside here. Not fully under the model, but on the bottom edge, I should say bottom edge. Which is unfortunate, but it's not as bad as this. This is crimped, you know, or crinkled. It's really awful. This one it's losing detail and getting soft and doing something weird on the bottom edge, but at least as you move up a little bit, the panels look more intact. This one is just god-awful right there. That's not great. Other arm looks reasonable. Yeah, I mean, the actual arm itself looks pretty good. That said, I'm assuming these are supposed to be mirrors. This one's actually got dimples here and here that might kind of serve to be like rivet points, right? And then this one over here doesn't have them at all. It doesn't even look like it's soft and they just missed them. It just looks like in the final production file, it almost looks like that was missed. So if you've got a Legionnaire that you've got from the box, compare left arm to right arm for me and let me know if it's got those dimples down there where it's supposed to have rivets. Because like it looks like this, you know, we have like these rivet hole things on the shoulders. It almost looks like it's got two of them on the arms, and then this one doesn't have it. The front of the shoulder's got one that's really soft here. This one's got one's also soft, and again, it's got that bonk point. So yeah, and that's not a hill I'm going to die on, but it looks like something that was missed. Details on the actual torso here. These are supposed to be armor panels on the side, right here. And where that meets the actual torso, where it mounts, it gets soft and you lose it. It's completely lost. You can see where they were trying to go for it here, and it's got a little bit better of one. But right there, it's completely soft and lost. That's a bummer. We've got mold lines that come across the top right here, which are kind of poop. That's a weird place to put them. If you're going to try as best you can to orient them so that your mold lines are in places where they're easy to clean and hidden, I don't think that's an unreasonable request at this point from the community, considering we've seen stuff from Star Wars Legion, Shatterpoint, MCP, and basically everything from Games Workshop right now, where when you fit their models together, the mold lines are hidden really well, the way that the models fit. So then these are super, super high detail, right? And, you know, fiddly. And those are larger scale. I don't have Legion on my desk to show you, but there's almost no excuse for not just demanding a better quality of your mold line placement. Maybe that has something to do with those being multi-part and these not, but like these are meant to be painted as well, even if they're not multi-part. So it's kind of frustrating that you've got these weird lines, which again is incredibly frustrating because you got this mold line that comes across here, across the back, right? And then when you rotate, this is so freaking crisp and looks so good. So like this is good, you would see it. The detail that matters more is top down, right? So as you shift and you look, this detail here that is not as important looks great. This whole back plate looks fantastic. If this quality of crispness was present here and here, we'd be in business. It's not. It's really not. I feel like I'm being overly negative, but like when this one and this one, all three of these were the new models in the box, and this guy's not too bad. This guy's got some things I'm not happy about, and this one has got a lot of areas in the most important spots on the model that look poopy. That's unfortunate. All right, so this is his cockpit here. Not terrible. Looks like you can get down in that. The sides of his head here, very soft. So like when we're looking at the model here, or this, we're supposed to have these like panels, these hard, sharp panels right through here. They are not sharp. This is super soft. Super soft and rounded. They're rounded. These are armor panels. Those create angles, and this creates soft donut edges. That's poop. And then when you're looking at this cards might be a little bit bigger, easier to see. When you look right in here, right at the side of his like shoulder, or right between his shoulder, right when it hits the torso, you can see those armor plates, right? The ones I was talking about that you lose them. Let's see if it's visible here too. Maybe a little bit easier with that blue. When you come over here on that edge is completely gone, and there's supposed to be a plate sitting on a plate on a plate. So those two hands, two separate plates. Those blur together and just become muddled. I'm rather disappointed with that. It had a lot of good things going, but this spot here, this is the focal point, and this looks good, and the leg kind of looks good. Now it looks good, and his back looks good. But everyone's going to look at that. That's what you're going to see, and that's not great. It's unfortunate. So that said, maybe I just got a dud, but I've looked at enough of these that these are consistently things that come up. So it is what it is. I do like that it's got a modular bit. That's cool. I wish that the detail on the front of it was a little bit more hard, crisp, sharp. But it's not the end of the world. I'd much prefer. I'm accepting of this. I wish this was sharper. It looked better. So. That said, folks, let me go run you guys back through the models one more time, give you a quick look. I'll even try and zoom in just a smidge more. Sometimes when I do this, the camera blurs, so I'm going to try and get us into a good spot. We'll show you guys the models one last time. So first up, we have got the Enforcer here, which we've already got one of these before, if I recall. Okay. And we have got the Gunsmith. This little alien dome here. It really does look like a the alien from Aliens and Ripley. You know, it looked like they had a baby with a mech. Like, this is the mech alien. It's not a slight. It's, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea for aesthetics, but that's just what makes me think of. We've got the Hellspawn. And finally, we have got the poopiest of the poops with the Legionnaire here, which I'm, again, very disappointed. So there we go. Give you guys a peek-see at those things. So that said, folks, that is all I've got for you today for our Davion Cavalry Lance. If you guys enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe. If your pack of models looks different or is the same, let me know. If you had some thoughts on the variants of cards that came in this, whether maybe you used them, maybe you didn't, sound off in the comments below. Let's get a chat going. That said, though, folks, that's all I've got for you today. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys continue to keep painting your models, keep rolling those dice, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and being here with me today. I pour a lot of time and passion into every video, and I genuinely hope it adds something to your hobby experience. If you've enjoyed today's content and want to see more, consider supporting me over on Patreon. Every little bit of support helps fuel what I'm doing here, and it truly makes a difference. Whether it's a few dollars or simply sharing the channel with others, your support means the world to me and allows me to keep doing what I love and hopefully inspiring you along the way. A huge thank you as well to all my sponsors, Monument Hobbies, Fortress Miniatures and Games, Baron of Dice, and Deathler Designs as well. Their backing is vital to the channel, and if you're in the market for top quality paints, miniatures, dice, or terrain, please check out their links below. Not only will you be picking up some great products, but you'll also be supporting this growing community we share together. Thank you so much for watching, and for your time, and for being a part of this journey with me. As I sign off today, let's go ahead and highlight some awesome patrons who are helping fuel this journey we're on together and helping keep things going.